All right, today we're diving into an invisible world that's all around us and even inside us. We're going to meet the tiny, powerful forces that shape our lives in ways we probably don't even realize. So let's kick things off with a huge question. Think about the world of microorganisms or microbes. Are they our allies, working behind the scenes to keep everything running? Or are they our enemies, just waiting for a chance to cause trouble? Well, the answer, as you're about to see, is a little bit of both. So here's the game plan for our journey. First, we're going to get to know our main characters in The World You Can't See. Then we'll meet the villains of the story, our microscopic foes. After that, we discover the unexpected allies. From there, we'll see how we manage them all in Taming the Tiny. And finally, we'll look at their absolutely essential role in life's essential cycle. Okay, first things first. Before we can label them friend or foe, we really need to understand what we're dealing with. So let's jump right in and meet the microbes. Okay, the first thing you've got to wrap your head around is just how everywhere these things are. A microorganism is, simply put, any living thing that's too small for us to see without a microscope. And when we say they're omnipresent, that is not an exaggeration. We're talking about boiling hot springs, the deepest parts of the ocean, and even inside solid ice. They've made a home literally everywhere on this planet. So here's our main cast of characters. You've got the ones you've probably heard of, like bacteria and fungi. Think yeast for bread. But there are also protozoa, which are kind of like tiny single-celled animals, and algae, which are more plant-like. And then you've got viruses, the real oddballs. They're on the very edge of what we even consider life, because they only really spring into action once they're inside a host cell. All right, now for the darker side of the story. For all the amazing things they do, some of these microbes can cause some major, major problems. This is definitely the faux part of our big question. So, when a microbe turns bad, when it has the ability to make us or animals or even plants sick, we give it a specific name, a pathogen. You might just call it a germ, but pathogen is the scientific term for any of these microscopic troublemakers. And these pathogens are pretty sneaky. They have all sorts of ways to get around. Some of them just float through the air we breathe, like the bacteria that causes tuberculosis. Others will hide out in our food or water, which is how cholera spreads. And some use a delivery service, like a mosquito bite. Let's just zoom in on that carrier idea for a second. We call them vectors, and it's fascinating. And yeah, a little bit terrifying. Just look at this. Two completely different, very serious diseases spread by two different kinds of mosquitoes. The female Anopheles mosquito carries the parasite for malaria, while the female Aedes carries the dengue virus. It just shows you, a tiny insect can have a massive impact. But wait. The story takes a huge twist. It's not all doom and gloom. A lot of these microbes aren't our enemies at all. In fact, they are some of our most important, most unexpected friends. And this is where the story gets really interesting. And it all kind of comes back to this one discovery by the great Louis Pasteur. Fermentation. This totally changed how we see the microbial world. He showed us that microbes like yeast aren't just gross things that spoil food. They're like tiny little chefs and master brewers, helping us make everything from fluffy bread to beer and wine. I mean, think about the last time you baked, or even just saw bread dough rising. It seems almost magical, right? Well, that magic is all thanks to our friend, yeast. It's literally eating the sugars in the dough and, breathing out carbon dioxide gas. Those little gas bubbles get trapped in the dough and make it expand. It's a tiny living engine inside our food. And their help doesn't stop in the kitchen, not by a long shot. Microbes have completely revolutionized medicine. Just think about this for a second. Two of the biggest medical breakthroughs in history happened because we learned how to use one microbe to fight another one. Jenner used a weak virus to create the first vaccine, basically training our bodies to fight off a much deadlier one. Then Fleming finds that a simple mold produces penicillin, a weapon that kills deadly bacteria that give us antibiotics. It's incredible. So, if these little guys can be both good and bad, it leads to a pretty obvious question, right? How do we control them? How do we encourage the good ones while stopping the bad ones from, say, ruining our food? Think of this as our playbook for taming the tiny. Every single one of these methods is designed to create an environment where the harmful microbes just can't thrive. Adding salt or sugar, for instance, sucks the moisture right out of them. Boiling just cooks them. And putting things in the fridge slows their growth down to a crawl. And look who's back, Louis Pasteur.
Pasteurization, a word you've probably seen on your milk carton a million times, is the perfect example of this control. It's this brilliant, quick blast of controlled heat that kills the dangerous stuff, followed by a rapid chill, all to make our food safe without ruining the taste. It's genius. Okay, for our last section, let's pull the camera way, way back. We're zooming out from our kitchens to the entire planet. Because microbes play a role that is so fundamental, so absolutely critical, that life as we know it would be completely impossible without them. Just look at this chart. It is staggering. A full 78% of the air you are breathing right now is nitrogen gas. We need it, plants need it, it's a key building block for life. But here's the catch. In this gas form, it's totally useless to most living things. It's like being thirsty in the middle of an ocean of salt water. So something has to change it. Something needs to take that useless gas and fix it into a form that plants can actually absorb from the soil. And the key to unlocking it is, you guessed it, our invisible allies, bacteria. They perform this incredible kind of natural alchemy called nitrogen fixation. And this right here, this is the planet's ultimate recycling program. You've got bacteria and even lightning fixing nitrogen into the soil. Plants suck it up, animals eat the plants, then, when plants and animals die, a whole different microbial cleanup crew breaks them down and returns that nitrogen to the soil. And just to complete the loop, other bacteria turn some of it back into gas. They are the essential, invisible workers at every single step of this cycle. So that brings us back to where we started. Friend or foe? Well, as we've seen, they're both. But maybe that's just the wrong way to look at it. They aren't simple heroes and villains. They are the invisible, powerful master regulators of our world's delicate balance. Maybe we're just living in their world.